Hello YouTube, this is Neon, and today I'm going to be doing another episode of From Coping to Thriving with Life, in which I talk about my personal life and how I am doing just that. So yesterday I hooked up with a guy. It was like the first time in weeks, but it felt like years. And struggling with sex addiction is hard. It's really hard because I want it. One of the things about addiction is that we tend to use something that has a normal use for something that's abnormal. So, you know, eating addiction is a good example, where eating is normal, but if I'm depressed and I have to eat, that's not normal. If I'm so in emotional pain that I need to eat so much that my stomach aching kind of gets rid of that emotional pain, because the pain of nausea and cramps and just the general discomfort of having overeaten sort of gets rid of that loneliness pain or distracts me from it, then I'm eating in an addictive or in an abusive way, right? I'm abusing food. And so sex is the same thing. Sex is for pleasure, sex is for love, but it shouldn't be for a replacement for emotion, a replacement for affection, a replacement for bonding with another person, because we don't just bond sexually with people. And unfortunately for me, it is. I was sexually abused as a child by quite a few men. And just about all of them were heterosexual, I want to say. They really wanted girls and weren't able to get to girls, so they took a boy instead. That was my experience. I don't like the stereotype that gay men are molesting boys, because I think the fact is it's generally heterosexual men. There are exceptions, but there was that sense that the only way a man would ever love me, it had to be sexual, and that nobody else would ever love me, and that my value was in my sex appeal. So it kind of can really play with a person's mind throughout their lifetime in terms of coping with all kinds of abuse through their childhood. Plus, my biological mother was extremely abusive, including stripping us down naked before beating us, or even stripping us certain ones of us naked, which I was one of them, and even in front of, like, you know, the neighborhood kids, and then making fun of us because this is normal, right? When a boy hasn't gone through puberty, he didn't have much down there because he's not supposed to. And so I really felt very deficient as a human being. Plus there was a physical abuse, the emotional abuse. So it was very difficult for me to really form friendships or have a sense of well-being. And unfortunately, a lot of times I do look for that in sex. So going weeks without sex can be difficult. And the guy who I hooked up with yesterday, there was no attraction. There was no, I mean, I was not attracted to him physically at all. I was not attracted to his personality. He was from a different planet. Okay, I'm from a different planet, okay? But I need someone who's from a similar planet, and he was from a different planet that was just in a different solar system or something. So I didn't really relate to his personality. The sex was awkward, it was okay, but at least I did get that human contact and pleasure, right? He was concerned about his vehicle because there's only 1 hour free parking when you can get it, right? This is LA. 1 hour free parking in my neighborhood. And I remember I was thinking, wow, this is kind of a waste of time. I really want to get back to these things that I'm doing that are really more productive in my life. So we did our thing, he left, and I thought, I don't think I'm going to have this guy back again. And that was that. So I was talking very fast. I hope that you caught everything that I was trying to say. There's things that I do every day that don't really need to be done every day. I do a lot of working out. I do a lot of other positive things. And this particular thing that I do every day, which I will go into detail in the future on a lot of the stuff I'm talking about, I promise, But I realize I don't need to do this every day. And it's kind of making my life a little easier because today, for example, I decided I'm not going to do it. And so kind of not being so inflexible in the way I govern my life, it's been a challenge. And being pragmatic and practical in terms of what works versus saying, I'm going to do this on a daily basis and actually think that I'm going to be able to do anything every day throughout my life as though I can predict the future. It doesn't make sense for me to structure my life in such a rigid way, in such a rigid and inflexible way, being that life is not stagnant. Life is complicated. Life fluctuates. Life has its ups and downs, right? It is just wonderful to say that this thing that's kind of like a chore, I'm not going to do it today because I'm tired, I'm exhausted. I did my run, which is just under 6-mile run today. It was very intense and I was glad that it was done. I've nearly made it through a 10-week workout cycle. I'm on week 10 now, and I get to take a week off, and I'm so desperately looking forward to this week off. These are some of the things that I'm doing to cope, to go from coping to thriving with life. And a lot of it deals with self-care. I haven't been able to... I'm making notes in case you wanted to know. Because you need to know everything. Because I love you and I want to tell you everything. That's why. Oh, what was I talking about? I was talking about something. Oh. So, it's been very difficult for me to form friendships, to form relationships. Certainly love relationships, but to form friendships as well. Having grown up with so much abuse that has played a major, really it's the reason why I've struggled with mental illness. It's been tough. I'm on SSI. I have found people don't value you when you're on SSI or if you are homeless. You are treated as a subhuman person. So in relationships, guys would try to take advantage and think that they were going to treat me like an animal, not abusing me, but as someone who doesn't have autonomy. They were going to make decisions for me, and they were doing me a favor if they dated me, particularly if they had a degree, and they had a vehicle, and they had all the trappings that life and society tells you, you need this to be some degree of a success. And they would look at me as someone who's subhuman. They might find me sexually attractive, but that was it. It was not like you... When you're on SSI, you're considered to be an actual, full, complete, autonomous being. So they would want me more like as an object versus as an equal. So dating anybody long term has been out of the question for the time being because they don't respect my autonomy and I have goals and dreams. A lot of people don't understand that when I am on SSI, it doesn't mean that I want to be on SSI for my whole life. It doesn't mean that I'm not working on myself every day to better myself, because I know I will not be on SSI for the rest of my life. I also have to deal with dream stealers, which is most of society. My dreams are huge, and they tend to be, they are bigger than just going to school, getting a degree, getting a good job, working 40 years and retiring. That's what the world teaches us to do. And that works for a lot of people. It's fine. Be autonomous and make your decision for what you want to do. That doesn't work for me. And I want more than that. There's much more that I want to do philanthropically and to change the world. And I have found people in so many ways that will just try to steal your dreams. And be mindful of this. But I've had people tell me, well, you can't change the world. What makes you think you can change the world? You just need to accept the world as it is. Well, I don't know why you need to change the world, but I just want to be comfortable in life. So they have to compare their dreams to yours and try to make your dreams illegitimate. It's a very subtle, slick way of trying to steal other people's dreams. As I said, a friend of mine who I told that I will be wealthy someday and I want you to be around to enjoy it, he said, oh yeah, sure, you're going to be wealthy. Someday you'll win the lottery. You know, I remember another person, I told them something that I wanted to do, and they basically said something like, well, you know, I guess that's astronomically possible. So for me, struggling with mental illness, struggling with getting along with people, and dealing with dream stealers, which is most of society, it's hard for me to be shrewd and guileless in interacting with these folks. I tend to want to just go for the jugular. And I tend to want to crush them under my feet. You know, I want to tell them, my dreams are bigger than your dreams. You did what society told you to do, so now you're pissed off and jealous at me because my dreams are bigger than your dreams and I want to help people and I want to live much better and philanthropic than you do. And you're jealous because it makes you look bad. Don't try to steal my dreams. You're nothing more than a dream stealer. I feel sorry for you. You're pathetic. That's how I would attack them. I would try to verbally crush them underneath my feet to dust. And all you do is you make enemies. You make enemies. People wind up hating you. Everything that I would have said was the truth. Everything, had I said something like that, that's the truth. People have already studied this. Psychologists, sociologists, they studied human behavior. I already know what I have to say. What's behind people trying to steal my dreams, I already know it's true. But I find it just a waste of time. It's a waste of time getting in these arguments. Instead, I need to be thick-skinned and take it in and still pursue my dreams anyway. And I've gotten to the point now where I can be around people a little bit, hear their dream stealing, and be somewhat bulletproof to it. So that's a good thing because I can't be, I don't want to be completely isolated from society because this is society. I'm a dream stealer. I'm a classist. It's something that I'm working on myself on a daily basis to value people regardless of education, regardless of all these other things. And I would tell you that if you have dreams for your life, whether they're to go to school and get a good job, whether they're to become an entrepreneur, an actor, whatever, a famous scientist, just guard your dreams. Guard your dreams. Do not allow anyone to steal your dreams. Think outside of the box. You know, search, seek, and ye shall find. Because a lot of times you're going to pay a price. You're going to pay a price for your dreams. I would say don't compromise or minimize the amount that you compromise. We all have to compromise, but don't make compromising, you know, like if you want to be an actor, don't think, okay, well, I'll sleep with anybody. You know, one woman said, she said in front of me, you know, I'll sleep with someone, I just want to make sure they're actually a famous producer and can do something for my career. I don't want to sleep with somebody who's like a PA. So don't look to compromise as the answer. Look to being willing to suffer and to, you know, be purified through that suffering to achieve your dreams. That'll be a process, a part of the process. You know, minor compromises and small compromises, that's fine. You know, if an actor or an actress has to do a nude scene, that's a legitimate compromise. Even if they really don't want to show their body, that's a legitimate compromise. So you have to decide what is a legitimate compromise for you and not. I don't know what it is for you, but I've learned that I do have to make some compromises. Not everything's going to work out my way, but we all have to guard our dreams. We have to guard our dreams, protect our dreams, believe in ourselves, don't allow other people to be a dream stealer, and at the same time, purify ourselves of being dream stealers. Purify ourselves of being classist. So that's really where I'm at. I really do need to talk about my personal life, and that's what I need to talk about. So thank you for listening. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, share, comment commercials, recommend my videos, do one or more of those things. Thank you. Best wishes.